This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm Tim Daniel. I am a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan, and I have been podcasting about this team for 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds and The Riverfront. And I want to thank you all for spending some time with me tonight as we discuss the Cincinnati Reds in the craziest game of all time, taking a 12-11 loss to the Atlanta Braves. If you were just checking me out for the first time, welcome. We are so glad to have you here. Please be sure to hit that notification button here on YouTube. So you can not only get my show after each and every Reds game, but you can get Jeff Carr and Stephen Offenbaker Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. And don't forget, right after we end here, just a few minutes after, I will be joining Jeff and Steve over on Locked On Reds here on the channel as well. So we're going to have back-to-back Tim Daniel tonight. For some of you, I'm sure you're happy. For a lot of you, I'm very sorry. Today's episode is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. Go to 5hourenergy.com today and use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. Offer only valid through September 30th. Order transfusion flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. On tonight's show, we're going to try to play the game of what just happened. I don't know. There's a lot to break down from this game. We're talking about Gameday Hue's Reds debut. Some good, some bad. Very interesting, very eventful to say the least. And I'm going to end the show talking about how it looks like fundamentals did the Reds in tonight. And of course, I'm going to hear from you on the chat. And after that one, pretty emotionally spent. I'm tired, boss.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, so normally I do this thing where I timeline the game right in the first segment, just kind of break down the big story of the game. And there's a lot of timeline in this one, isn't there? So start up leading 3-0. Ellie breaks his homer streak in the third. You're like, all right, cool. Feels like it's gonna be a good day. Atlanta comes back, ties it up. Sixth inning, they make it 3-3, and then that's not even a half of the story of this game, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. So let's just do the roll call of the eighth inning. We'll start with the Braves. Eli White has a single to give the Braves the lead that brings in Ozzie Albies. They go station to station. Sean Murphy moves up to second. Michael Harris moves to third. Luke Williams, right after that, double, brings in Sean Murphy, brings in Michael Harris, moves Eli White to third. You're like, oh, this can't get much worse. And then they make a move. Matt Olson reaches on a fielder's choice. What was that throw by Sam Moll? It's going to be part of the fundamentals conversation later. Austin Riley then gets a hit. You're like, it's 8-3. You're like, well, they're toast. And then Ozzie Albies gets his fourth hit of the night, makes it 10-3. And Sean Murphy, for his second at bat in the inning, has a double that brings in Marcell Ozuna. At that point, you're looking at 11-3 to go. Oh boy, this isn't good. As a matter of fact, this is really bad. I'm going to use it again 2 days in a row to quote the great Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. The Red Legs say, you got 8, we got 8 too. Gameday Hue's first hit as Cincinnati Red, 3-run homer, cuts it to 5. Ellie De La Cruz singles to bring in Matt McLain, moves Noelvi Marte up to third. Austin Hayes then gets a single. And then Spencer Steer, for the second night in a row, has an unbelievable at-bat to tie, this time tying the game at 11-11. And then, with no outs, once again, the Reds can't add on. We go to the 10th. Marcell Ozuna has a sac fly to bring in Matt Olson. And then the Reds can't do anything on their half of the inning, because Ellie De La Cruz got thrown out with a ball that was hit the shortstop. That's part of the fundamentals conversation later. But what I'm here to say is that game was very emotionally taxing. That game was very emotionally spent. And we do this thing all the time when I have people come in here and they go like, oh, they should have saved some runs for tomorrow. Who's saving runs for tomorrow? 23 runs in that game, people. Yeah, just crazy crazy talk. It's the craziest game I can remember in a long time. And I know the Reds and the Braves just really have weird, crazy games in GABP. Remember the LA Cycle game in 23? That game was nuts. And it wasn't even close to how nuts this game was. It's insanity. And they got to go play 2 more. And one of them is in a stadium that's never been played before. And part of me is really numb because I'm like, man, that's deflating the way they end up losing that game. Part of me is like, holy shnikes, they scored 8 runs to tie the game and made it a game. And that's really impressive. Part of me is like, so spent because I got yelled at, me, Jeff, and Steve got yelled at all day by listeners about the trade deadline. We don't make the trades. We're going to talk about that in the next video that's coming up on the show tonight. But we heard you guys. We're well aware how you feel, and we're excited to talk about it with you guys tonight. And then part of me is like, they need to beat this Braves team. Ronald Acuna's hurt. It sucks. The Braves came in like reeling. Worst record in baseball in July. Just lost the day before in extra innings. The Reds, I'm not going to say there's no excuse to lose this game because that's not fair. None of our everydayers, Laura. The everydayers know that. We know the everydayers got our back, Laura, so you don't have to worry about that. But I don't want to say that this game was like unacceptable to lose because I think the comeback was immensely impressive, and I love the fight. I love the effort, but even with the fight and the effort, there's plenty of plays that did them in tonight. And I think that's the biggest takeaway is if they played cleaner baseball, they win tonight. No doubt about it. And it didn't go their way. Plays happen. I know what the Braves record says, and I know they're down guys, but it's still hard to not respect the Atlanta Braves because they just always seem to find a way. They're like zombies, man. Like they just never go away, even when they're bad. So yeah, it's a tough loss. It's a tough loss. You feel disappointed, but also really fun game. Would like to have won, but life happens, I guess. And tonight, the first part of the Reds trade deadline acquisitions made their debut tonight, and Brian Hayes certainly had an eventful day at his first day as a Cincinnati Red. Let's dive into it because there is a lot to get to right after this. Time to fuel up and turn it up with the 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, unless apparently you drink Celsius these days, into a quick, energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. What's the wildest shot you ever made? Was it a total fluke like a Happy Gilmore style, or was it a well-calculated miracle? Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors, of course. The grape ginger lime flavor gives you the best parts of your Chuck Clubhouse go-to without chasing the bev cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com, that's the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGolf to receive 20% off your order. The offer is only valid until September 30th. On one order, it cannot be used with other promotions. This code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion-flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. Want to shout out our everydayers here on the POSTCAST for spending some time with us tonight. It's really great to see you guys in an unbelievably crazy, insane baseball game tonight where the Cincinnati Reds do unfortunately take a loss. But at least they gave us a lot of entertainment, both good and bad. And like I said, I am emotionally taxed from that one. But the good news is you guys are going to catch me again here in, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe, as I join Jeff and Steve tonight on Locked On Reds here on the YouTube channel as well. And we're going to break down and recap the trade deadline. Let's discuss a few more things here, but let's talk about the turning point of the game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I think it's fair to say that if Ellie De La Cruz is smart there and just like lets Austin Hayes get out at first base, the Reds have a chance to win this one. I mean, shout out Austin Hayes. I think it's great that he had that like base running IQ to go ahead and take second but you're Ellie De La Cruz. You're the best player on the team. You've had a great day. It's 3 hits. You broke your homer streak. You had that amazing double play. You got to pay attention, man. Like, I'm not going to sit here and just like rail on him and be mean to him, but that was an unacceptable out on the base path. And there's too many of those. Again, remember, fundamentals coming up after this segment. Brian Hayes made his debut tonight with the Cincinnati Reds, much to a lot of controversy from the Red Leg Nation out there. Shout out my old pal Chad Dotson. I'll see you in Bristol this week, buddy. And it was a day. I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe it. It was a day for that young man. And I want to say that I think there was more good than bad, but I know that the bad is going to stand out more to the people than the good. So let's just kind of go through. This is all one game. Your first game, mind you, with a new team that you just got traded to. You probably don't have a house yet. You probably don't have a place to live yet. You're probably like living in some like Airbnb for the time being until as you're searching, because you know at least you're on a team with team control. But first things first, gets out his first couple at bats, sure. Dives for a ball that goes by him. I don't think it was necessarily close, but I love the effort he made for it. Goes to the corner. That's a double for the Braves. Okay, you can live with that. Then turns a double play, and the fifth ball hit to him, gets to McLean. McLean revs the steer. I am so excited about this infield defense, and I know that's very lame to say by people, but I am very excited for this infield defense now. So you have that. Then he has the error that brings 2 runs in. You go, oh boy, this guy was brought in for defense. I had to log off my Twitter account for like 2 hours because I just knew the comments were going to be stupid and insane there. And you go, oh God, that's not good. Then has another play where he has an infield ground ball, gets the runner at first. They first call it safe. Then they have to review it. And of course, they end up calling him out. Mind you, one game here we're talking about. And then, of course, hits the home run, the 3-run home run, his first hit as a Red. Takes advantage of that left field corner. Big picture, the error sucked, but I think he made some really good plays defensively overall, and the home run was awesome. So 1 for 5 with a home run, 3 RBI is fine for their 9-hole hitter. I do think he's going to end up swinging the bat pretty well, but this was it's probably a C for if we had to do a letter grade for his first game, but I think better things are going to come, and I think that he's going to find his way here. I really do think that the Reds fans are going to end up really enjoying him, and I feel bad for the error because I'm pretty sure he was just excited and trying to make a play with his new team, but the home run was great. And so shout out to Brian Hayes. I can't wait to see what else you bring to the ball club, but this was a game that was pretty wild. And everyone's kind of mentioned, I didn't have it in the rundown. It's hard to put together a 15-minute show, but I got to give Brent Suter some love tonight because he was incredible. And even with all the amazing offense tonight, just because of the funsies of it, it might not really be the right answer. He's going to be our locked on player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So there's probably, Spencer Steer, Ellie, Noelvi Marte, Matt McLean. You can make cases for player of the game tonight. I'm still going to go with Brent Suter because that inning in 2/3 that he gave the Reds tonight, as we saw, was much needed. And then that energy was incredible. So yeah, stings to have that loss, but there's good moments in it. So we'll take it. Tonight, the Reds did not play clean baseball, and that's putting it nicely. I mentioned the Hayes error. There's also the Matt McLean error in the same inning. There's Andrew Abbott with 5 walks tonight. There's Spencer Steer not be able to field that bunt. There's Ellie De La Cruz getting out on the base path. What I'm trying to get at here is even though they were down 8 runs, I think it's fair to say the Reds kind of beat themselves tonight. Maybe not fully, but they had their chances tonight to really put this game away at times. They had their chance to really take that lead there, and they did not play clean baseball. I mean, to make the effort they did to get back in the game, and there's at bats too, right? I'm not really mad at Ellie for striking out in the bottom of the 9th there. I probably would have thought it was a ball, and then I looked at the at bat app and it said it was a strike. Though I think it's close. I think you can kind of go either way there. And then I think also you can look at Sam Mull's throw to the plate when he's fielding that ball was I don't know, that looked like Uncle Rico throwing the ball in like Napoleon Dynamite is the vibes I got from that one. So that was terrible. I kind of feel bad for Graham Ashcraft because he got tagged for those 2 runs, and it's just kind of was a cesspool of bad ideas tonight for sure. But I think the big picture of this is like, I think it's cool that this team fights really hard like that. I think it's really nice to see. And yeah, I want to see them win that game. I'm for sure do. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. And we're just kind of roll with it and see what happens. You got 2 more games against this team. You have a favorable pitching matchup again tomorrow. And then of course you got the big day Saturday, which we're all looking forward to. So yeah, the Reds do take the loss tonight, 12-11 to the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves have 12 runs on 13 hits, no errors. The Reds have 11 runs on 17 hits and 2 errors. Your winning pitcher tonight is Pierce Johnson. He is now 2-3. Emilio Pagan is the losing pitcher. He is now 2-4. And Raisel Iglesias gets his 13th save of the year. And if someone literally comes in our chat and says Ellie is overrated, you got your attention. Congratulations. Learn baseball if you're really going to go and say that stuff, because it's not true at all. But the Reds are back at it tomorrow at 12:40 on Friday. For those of you paying attention here, and just a friendly reminder, as Brady Singer takes the ball for the Reds, he is 8-8 with a 460. He'll be going against Bryce Elder of the Braves. He is 4-7 with a 629. First pitch will be at 12:40. I will be back here for that game in the afternoon. But friendly reminder, once again, I will be on here in about 15 minutes with Jeff and Steve on this channel. So stay tapped in if you guys want here on Locked On Reds. I am very excited to talk about the trade deadline, discuss the 3 moves the Reds made. So everyone have a great night. I guess I'll see you here in a little bit if you're going to hang out some more. Looking forward to it. Take it easy, everyone. I'll see you in a bit.